What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about the OG. When I say the OG, I'm talking about my original sports car, the Porsche 911 Carrera S Cabriolet, the 992 generation. That was my first high-performance sports car, and it really set off a whole new hobby for me. In today's video, we're going to talk about the mods I had done to that car. Now, that car was already pretty amazing stock, but I decided I wanted to have a little fun, and after getting some feedback from a lot of other people on the forums, I went with two, and I'd actually say 2.5 major mods. I started off by getting high-flow sport cats, or 200 cell cats. So those are catalytic converters that are supposed to pass emissions testing. Now, what's the advantage of those? Well, supposedly they help with generating power. But at that time, I wasn't so interested in more power, I just wanted enhanced sound. All in all, I think they improved the sound a little bit. So after a good while driving the car just like that, getting to know it, getting experience with it, I kind of moved on to my next two mods, which kind of went hand in hand. The first was Soul Performance's exhaust. Now, when I contacted them and I talked about their options and I reviewed their exhausts online, I said, look, I want the most aggressive, loudest exhaust you have available. And I came close to that. I got their 3-inch exhaust, which included high-flow sports cats, as well as 3-inch catback exhaust with an X-pipe. No muffler, no valves. I basically call it the cannons. Was that exhaust loud? You better believe it was loud. I remember the first time I started that car, there was a lady behind me, and when I looked through the rear view mirror, she was in shock. I think she was kind of glowering at me. But that exhaust was really just one part of it. The other part of it, and really what I'd call the main focus of this video, is the tune that I got. Now, there are a couple different tuning companies, but after multiple conversations, I went with M Engineering. M Engineering is a tuning company that's relatively new, but they have some great people working for them. They're very passionate, and in my observation, they have very good customer experience. So they send you a dongle in the mail. Here is the M Engineering dongle that I got, and I still kept it in case I might use it in a future Porsche or perhaps a McLaren. So you plug one end of this dongle to your OBD2 port and the other end to your laptop, where you use their software to essentially upload a tune directly to your car. It's really amazing how it works. But this tune just changes the parameter of your car. So for example, it increases throttle response, some other changes, but one of the main adjustments is it increases your boost pressure. So now I don't know what it is, but I had a stage 2 tune because of my ridiculous exhaust. When I look back, I think I had one of the most aggressive tunes out there for a Carrera S. Now I don't know what it was, but I submitted data logs, and I believe I was getting close to 29 PSI of boost pressure. Now keep in mind that stock, the peak boost pressure is supposed to be 16 PSI. Again, some of that might have been the exhaust, some of that might have just been the tune, I don't know. But I could feel it on the road. Now, I never did any measurements, I never did any 0 to 60 or quarter-mile tests. I'll leave that to other people, but I could definitely feel the power and the speed. One example of that was I was driving on the road one day and I ran into a pretty new Camaro. The driver of that Camaro and I took a left onto a straightaway, and I could see the look in his eye. I knew what he had in mind. So we both floored the throttle. For the first few seconds, we were neck and neck, and then the boost kicked in. And I'm not kidding you, I just took off. I mean, I left him in the dust. His car could have exploded for all I know, and I wouldn't have known. I was doing pulls on random back roads and I was just in awe of the speed of this thing. I couldn't always hold traction because my car was a rear-wheel drive, but still, it was just next level. Commenting on M Engineering's customer service, I thought it was excellent. They were very responsive to emails. They sent me multiple files when things needed to be adjusted. And you know, I haven't dealt with a lot of tuning companies, but they offer data logging. Now I found data logging to be really, really helpful. You basically do some pulls in your car and submit it to them, and they analyze your data and make adjustments. I mean, I was data logging on public roads and I was often scared of cops. But I pulled it off, I got a really good tune, and I was really happy with the product. Was there anything negative that came out of the tune? Well, probably the only issue that came up was because the tune generated so much torque that the transmission would sometimes throw an error message, and that would get you out of gear for a couple of seconds. Now, to their credit, M Engineering sent me a couple files to work on that problem, and it definitely got better. But I had sold the car before they had the opportunity to fully resolve it. Anyhow, I had a great experience modding my Porsche. I had an exhaust, I had a crazy tune. Just those two mods alone were enough for me. I'm not really big on doing a lot of mods. I didn't have intercoolers, intakes. I didn't have a plenum. I didn't lower my car or put in lowering springs or anything like that. But just with those mods alone, I just had a great time. Would I tune again? Absolutely. The only thing I would take into consideration is, how much do you want to mod your car? How much are you willing to put into it? If you just want to, plug and play and be done with it, tuning sometimes works out, but it's not always a perfect experience. If you're willing to be, active about it and, get in there, do some data logging, refine things as you go, give some feedback, it can be really rewarding. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. One other thing is tuning kind of ruined speed for me. That car was so fast that nothing really feels fast anymore. I wouldn't say that my car was as fast as a turbo model or turbo S model or anything at that level, but it was kind of coming close, I'm telling you. So I had a car that was an insanely loud and insanely fast beast. I'd like to thank everybody for watching, and I'll see you next video.